Hello everyone. So the next topic which I will be discussing is about the human skeletal system or the skeletal system. So skeletal system which functions as the basic framework of the body, and the entire body are built around the hard framework of the skeleton. It is the combination of all the bones, tissues that are associated with the cartilage and the joints. So that are associated with the cartilage and the joints. Now, almost all the rigid or solid parts of the body are the main components of the skeletal system. If I take the examples here, then joints, they play an important role in the skeletal system as it helps in permitting the different types of movements at different locations. If the skeleton were without the joints, there would be no sign of movement in the body. So if the joints are not there in the skeleton system, the uh, the body parts will not be able to move. For example, there is a ball and socket joint which helps in the movement of the shoulder, and various other joints like gliding joints. Then there are various other joints that help in the movement of our body. So that will not be possible without the joints. Now, what is skeleton system? Skeletal system consists of all the bones, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments in the body. Altogether, the skeleton has been estimated that it makes up about 20% of a person's body weight. So about 20% of the person's body weight is because of the skeletal system. And an adult human contains about 206 bones which are organized into two main divisions. Now what are the two main divisions? So we will be discussing that in detail. Axial and appendicular. Now axial and appendicular skeleton. So I will be discussing both of these in detail. So first I will talk about is the axial skeleton, which runs along the body's central axis. Therefore, it is known as the central core of the human body. So what is it known as? It is also known as the central core of the human body. So the axial skeleton is composed of 80 bones, and it consists of, so these are some of the parts of the axial skeletal system: skull, hypoid, auditory ossicles, vertebral column, ribs, and sternum. Now, what are these? So, we will be discussing with each of these in detail now. So, first I will talk about is the skull. So, skull consists of cranium and facial bones. Now, what is the function of the cranium? So, the function of the cranium here is to protect the bone. What it does is it protects the brain. It protects the brain, and it is formed of 8 plate-shaped bones which is joined together by a meeting point which is known as the sutures. And along with cranium, the remaining 14 bones, they form the facial bones. So the other form the facial bones. So this was about the skull. So next I will talk about is the hyoid. So what is it? It is a U-shaped bone which is located at the interior neck. So where it is located? It is located at the interior neck. And it is an intermediary between the skull and the postcranial skeleton. It has no articulation with other bones. So it has no articulation with the other bones. So this was about the hyoid. So next I will talk about here is the auditory vesicles. So there are basically 3 bones in the middle ear, and that are the smallest bones in the human body. So there are three bones. What are these three bones? There are malleus, inus, and stapes. And the function of this ossicle are to transmit the sound from ear to the cochlea, and then further it will give the signals to the brain. Next is about the ribs. So ribs, if I talk about ribs here, so ribs, they are long curved bones which constitutes the rib cage. So what it do is it constitutes the rib cage. And rib cage further consists of 24 bones in 12 pairs, which forms the protective cage of the thorax. Now, the next is about the sternum. The next is about the sternum. So it is the breastbone, which is a long bone which is placed at the central of the chest. So where it is placed? It is placed at the central of the chest. And the sternum and ribs make up the rib cage. The sternum is attached to the first 7 ribs and also to the collarbone. So it is also attached to the collarbone. Vertebral column was left. So vertebral column is a set of approximately 33 bones, which is called as the vertebrae. And they are separated by intervertebral disc, and the vertebral column has been divided into 5 categories further. So we will not be discussing in detail about that. Now, the next is about the appendicular skeleton. So appendicular skeleton, if I talk about, is a part of the human skeleton system that supports the appendages. So what it does is it supports the appendages. It consists of 186 bones, which includes the bones of the limb as well as supporting the pelvic and the pectoral girdle. So it also supports the pelvic and pectoral girdles. So the appendicular skeleton has been further divided into 6 parts. Now what are these 6 parts? These 6 parts are shoulder girdle, arms and forearm, hands, pelvis, then thighs and legs, and feet and ankles. So now we will be discussing each of these in detail now. So first I will talk about is the shoulder girdle. So what is it? It is a set of 4 bones. What is it? It is a set of 4 bones which connects to the arm on each side. The pectoral girdle is a part of appendicular skeleton which are for the upper limbs, and in human beings this consists of a scapula and the clavicle and scapula. So this was about shoulder and girdle. Next is about the arms and the forearms. So it constitutes about 6 bones, and they further have 3 large bones of the arm, which include the humerus, then radius, and then the ulna. So these are the 3 bones. Next is about the hands. So it consists of about 54 bones. So what it consists of? It consists of about 54 bones, and which provides support and flexibility to the soft tissues. And the bones of hands are categorized further into 3 parts. And what are these? There are carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. So these are the bones of the hands. Next I will talk about is the pelvis. which is located in the lower part of the trunk. It consists of two bones. What are these two bones? That is the scrotum and the coccyx. These are the two bones. The next is about the thighs. Thighs and legs. So they are part of the appendicular system, which supports the muscle of the lower limb. What these muscles do? They help in the walking, running, jumping, etc. Now it also have some of the bones which are being divided as, so they have a femur bone in the thigh bone, then tibia and fibula. So these are the bones of the thighs and legs. The last is about the feet and the ankles. It is a platform which supports the body, and it is formed of many bones. For example, it is formed of tracers, metatarsals, and phalanges. So these are the bones of the feet and the ankle. So this was all about the skeletal system. These are some of the references. Thank you.